everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Ask Your Energy Advisor. I'm Casey McVicker, Marketing and Member Services Manager for Grids Muskingum Electric, and with me today is everyone's favorite energy advisor, Ray Kroc. Today, we're going to be breaking down something we all get every month, but don't necessarily always take the time to understand: your electric bill. Ray, can you help us take a closer look at what it all means and what you're seeing?
Sure, Casey. First of all, when you open your electric bill, the one thing that jumps out at you right from the start is the big circle at the top of the page that tells you how much money you owe and when the due date is. Then off to the left, there's some important messages like upcoming events, dates that the office is closed, any important things we're trying to get out to the members.
Information we want to communicate.
Off to the right of that is kind of a ledger that tells what your previous bill was, whether you've paid or not, current bill, balance carried over and such. And then as you move down, it's got your address, your meter number, and then what people need to notice is what the dates are for the meter readings, because we run a month behind, what the meter readings were, and then most importantly, how many kilowatt hours they used or kWh that they used.
And Ray, let me stop you right there. What exactly is a kilowatt hour?
First of all, a kilowatt is 1,000 watts. So a kilowatt hour is using 1,000 watts of electric for 1 hour.
Okay.
A 100-watt light bulb would use a kilowatt hour in 10 hours.
Okay. Ray, can you break down and explain the charges that make up our bill?
Yeah. First of all, we all pay a service availability charge.
Okay.
Then the next line is the generation charge, which is essentially what we're paying Buckeye Power to create the electricity that you, the member, are using.
Okay.
Then there's a transmission charge in there, which goes to AEP or whoever has the transmission lines between the power plant and our substations. And then last is the distribution charges. You pay a little bit more for the first 500 kilowatt hours, as people would notice on their bill. They're not getting charged twice. It's the first 500 kilowatt hours is at one rate, and then once you go over 500 kilowatt hours, you get it at a lower rate. Then there's, of course, everybody has to pay a kilowatt hour tax to the government, and there's various things like some people have our rented security lights, Operation Helping Others, which is just a roundup program to the nearest dollar. They might even see an RCS discount of $1 on there, things like that.
Ray, take me back to the service availability charge. Can you tell me a little bit about what is included in that service availability charge? Why as a member, what does that mean for me when I'm paying a service availability charge?
Well, that's the cost of running the office and rebuilding lines, replacing poles, the right-of-way clearing. So that's just the total cost of running the co-op.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. Okay, Ray, so can you talk to us a little bit about what's the most exciting part of our bill for members?
Well, part of the changes that we've made is now you can look at a graph and you can see how much electric you used every month for the last year. And you can kind of see the trends that's happening. You can compare this year's versus last year's, and it also graphs the temperature on there so that you can see, well, if it's winter and you're heating with electric and the temperatures was 10 degrees colder this year, that equated to higher electric bills or, fuel bills for heating. Same way with the summer. Higher temperatures would create a higher air conditioning bill. Then as you go on down, you can break it down. This is how much electric you used this month. You can compare that to last month.
Okay.
You can compare it to last year. Once again, what showed in the graph up above. And then I like the fact that you can actually see how many kilowatt hours you used every day and how many dollars you used every day.
And that shows your average.
Yeah, that's for the month. And it's like you operated everything in your house for this many dollars a day. It kind of gives a person an idea of this is what it's costing me to power everything in my home for one day.
Okay, so finally, on the back of our bills, can you explain to me what members can expect to see?
Yeah, there's a lot of information on the back of the bill, how to register for SmartHub, how to report outages. There's another explanation of the different old charges on the front that I just described. And then different ways to pay your bill, ways to keep up your contact information. People change their emails, change their cell phones, do away with landlines. It's good for them to let us know, because we need to be able to get in contact with them if we're doing right-of-way work in their area, or going to have a planned outage or something like that.
Great, absolutely. Well, thank you, Ray, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ask Your Energy Advisor. If you have a question for us, please feel free to email us at mailbox@gmenergy.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future notifications.